doesn't arrive loudly. There's no rush, no spike. It's already there when you wake up. A low tension in your chest, a slight holding in your breath. You move slower than you need to. You double-check things without knowing why. Your body acts careful before your mind catches up. This kind of fear doesn't shout. It whispers. It stays in the background and colors everything. You feel it when you reach for your phone and hesitate before sending a message, when you rehearse what you're about to say in your head, when you imagine how it might go wrong before you imagine how it could go right. Your shoulders feel a little raised, like they're protecting something. Your stomach feels tight, but not enough to stop you, just enough to remind you to stay alert. You notice exits. You notice people's moods. You scan rooms without meaning to. Your eyes keep checking. Is this safe? Is that okay? Did I do something wrong? You don't call it fear. It doesn't feel big enough for that word. It feels more like caution, like being responsible, like thinking ahead. But your body knows. Your body stays ready. Ready for what? You're not sure. You think about consequences before you think about what you want. You weigh every move, every word. You ask yourself if it's worth it, worth the risk, worth the reaction, worth being seen. It's quiet, but it's constant. You feel it when you're choosing clothes, when you're deciding where to go, when you're about to try something new and pause at the last second. Your chest tightens just a bit, enough to slow you down. You're not panicking, you're functioning, you're getting through your day. But underneath, there's this carefulness that never fully turns off, like you're walking on thin ice that looks solid but might crack. You're not thinking about the past, you're not predicting the future clearly. You're just holding yourself smaller in the present, making sure you don't take up too much space, making sure nothing goes wrong. This is what it feels like, being careful with everything, all the time. Fear shapes your choices in quiet ways. You don't always notice it deciding for you, but it does. Fear slows your steps. Fear edits your words before they leave your mouth. You pause more than you used to. You reread messages before sending them. You delete whole thoughts because fear tells you they might be misunderstood. Fear makes you careful with people. You don't open up too fast. You test the water with small truths before risking the real ones. You laugh things off when they matter. You change the subject when it gets too close. Fear keeps you guarded, even when you want connection. You notice how fear lives in your body. Your shoulders stay slightly tense. Your stomach tightens when something unexpected happens. You hold your breath when you're about to speak up. Fear keeps you watching faces, listening for tone, reading between lines that might not even be there. Fear makes you plan. You think 3 steps ahead. You imagine what could go wrong. You prepare for reactions that haven't happened yet. You carry backup explanations, backup exits, backup versions of yourself. Fear wants you ready, just in case. Sometimes fear makes you avoid things altogether. You don't apply, you don't try, you don't ask. You tell yourself you don't care, but fear is the one quietly steering you away. Fear whispers that it's safer not to want too much, not to reach too far. Other times, fear keeps you busy. You stay productive, you stay distracted. You fill your days so you don't have to sit with the question of what you actually want. Fear likes it when you don't slow down. Fear likes it when you don't look too closely. You notice how fear changes your tone. You soften your opinions. You apologize when you didn't do anything wrong. You make yourself smaller in rooms. Fear tells you not to take up too much space, not to be too loud, not to be too visible. Fear becomes a background narrator. Careful, maybe not. What if? You don't argue with it. You just adjust. You live around fear, You let fear guide your steps, even when you don't call it fear. It feels like being responsible. It feels like being smart. But underneath, it's still fear. Quiet, persistent, always there. Living with quiet fear takes more than you realize. It doesn't drain you all at once. It wears you down slowly. Every decision takes extra effort. Every choice feels heavier than it should. Fear makes even simple things feel like something you have to think through carefully. By the end of the day, you're tired, but you can't explain why. You didn't do anything extreme. You just carried fear through everything. Fear costs you ease. You notice it when you can't fully relax, even in safe places, even around people you trust. Your body stays half alert, like it's waiting for something to go wrong. You sit on the couch but don't fully sink into it. You laugh but keep checking the room. Fear doesn't let you disappear into the moment. It keeps you watching. Fear starts to touch your relationships. You don't always show your real reactions. You filter yourself. You choose the safest version of your thoughts. You don't want to upset anyone. You don't want to be misunderstood, so you hold things back. Over time, people know parts of you, but not all of you. Fear builds that distance quietly. It costs you chances. Not in dramatic ways, in small ways. You don't raise your hand. You don't send the message. You don't take the step that might change something. Fear tells you it's better to stay where you are, familiar, predictable. You wonder later what would have happened if you tried. The question lingers. Fear also costs you trust in yourself. You start to doubt your instincts. You second-guess your wants. You ask yourself if you're being unrealistic, if you're asking for too much. Fear makes your own desires feel risky. You learn to talk yourself out of things before anyone else can. There's a loneliness in quiet fear. You don't talk about it because it doesn't feel big enough. You think other people have it worse. So you stay silent. You carry it alone. You sit with people but keep a part of yourself guarded. Fear stands between you and being fully seen. It doesn't ruin your life. It just shrinks it a little. Fear takes space without asking, and you feel that loss even if you can't name it. Right now, fear is still here. It didn't disappear while you were listening. It didn't soften into something else. Fear is still sitting in your body, quiet and watchful. But maybe it feels a little different than before. Not smaller, just less in charge. Like it moved from the driver's seat to the passenger side. You notice yourself in this moment, the room, the light, your breathing. Fear is still there, but so are you. You're not running from it. You're not trying to change it. You're just letting it exist without steering everything for once. Maybe you feel tired, the kind of tired that comes from being careful all the time. You don't push it away. You let yourself feel it. Your shoulders drop a little. Not relaxed, just less guarded. You might notice a small pause. A few seconds where you're not checking, not scanning, not preparing. Just here. The quiet doesn't feel dangerous. It just feels quiet. And you notice that. Fear hasn't left, but it's not shouting directions either. It's sitting beside you instead of in front of you. You can see it. You don't have to obey it in this moment. You're not making promises about the future. You're not changing anything today. You feel your body in the space, your feet, your hands, something solid, something real. You come back to now, even if just for a breath. You don't know what you'll do with fear later. That's not the point. Right now, you're just noticing that you're here with it, that it didn't swallow you, that you're still present. Fear didn't protect you. It didn't harm you either. It just exists, and so do you. This is where you are now. Not better, not worse, just here.